Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It is a hard truth that not everyone is willing to accept that when it comes to firearms, a lot of times the cops are not your friends. We have another example of that today with a tweet from the Michigan State Police Department suggesting that concealed carry license holders are unhinged, violent, over-emotional ticking time bombs. Unlike them. So I suppose now we know the true opinion of the Michigan State Police when it comes to gun owners. See the surprised look on my face? I know I'll get a lot of flack for saying this when it comes to some folks in the comments, and I am perfectly prepared for you to unsubscribe right now. But overall, when it comes to law enforcement and gun owners, again, cops are not your friends. I know that there are some police and sheriff departments that support people's Second Amendment rights, but for every one, there's at least one that doesn't. Probably even more. I would love to see the statistics on this. Especially in areas where they are the single gatekeepers for deciding if you're of good moral character enough for your Second Amendment rights. Even here, in South Carolina, which is incredibly pro-gun, there were police departments who tried to get in the way of constitutional carry. For years. But before I tell you about Michigan's unsurprising stance, being that they work in conjunction with Witchy Whitmer, today's video is brought to you by Blackout Coffee Company. Blackout is a family-owned roaster based in sunny Florida that roasts all of their coffee fresh to order and partners with some of your favorite channels and gun rights groups. We have a bunch of family visiting this week and they are absolutely loving the Brutal Awakening roast and specifically asked on the company and the roast so they can go home and buy some. So to check them out and help support the channel, go to blackoutcoffee.com/libertydoll. The Michigan State Police 2nd District's official X account recently tweeted, actually, do they still call it that? Anyways, that Officer Mike Shaw recently said, "Here is another example of a CPL holder not being able to handle their emotions because traffic was slowed due to a crash. This suspect lost their cool, grabbed an accessible handgun, and put others at risk. We are lucky he didn't pull the trigger." Obviously, in speaking about a road rage incident. The implications are, of course, that licensed gun owners commit lots of crimes and are known for popping off over small infractions and are just loose cannons, when in fact, statistics show that licensed gun owners are among the most law-abiding people and overall commit fewer crimes than cops. The tweet got a lot of public backlash, though it was not removed, including folks asking for statistical proof that licensed gun owners are a crime problem in Michigan. Someone else pointed out these stats that police spouses are 4 times more likely to be victims of domestic violence than the average spouse. Needless to say, the police did not respond with those stats about gun owners because they don't exist. Oddly enough, there aren't a lot of news stories out of Michigan, or anywhere, of gun owners being linked to crime waves or crime at all. But the funny thing is, a quick search does, however, bring up multiple stories of crimes being committed by the Michigan State Police. One officer, for example, faced charges of assault with intent to do great bodily harm, obstruction of justice, official misconduct, assaulting a police officer causing injury, aggravated domestic violence, and committing a felony while carrying a firearm, all for assaulting his female partner while on duty. Another 5 were investigated in June 2021 on various misconduct, assault, and battery charges. One of those charges stemmed from sexually assaulting 2 female inmates the officer was supervising. I believe there was also a bribe with a pizza. In 2022, a Michigan cop faced charges for pulling his gun on a newspaper delivery boy while off duty. You can do a search for Michigan cop charged with felony or Michigan cop charged with assault, and you will get dozens of results with everything from police misconduct and excessive force to cops threatening each other with hunting knives in the break room, or even one case of a Michigan officer facing 11 felony charges for beating and sexually assaulting a female relative, and another of a Michigan cop being busted in a child you-know-what ring. But those over-emotional, problematic licensed gun owners. Man, without them, Michigan would be perfect. Bottom line, as a general rule, being a legal gun owner requires you follow the law, be an upstanding citizen, and understand the weight and responsibility of carrying a gun. It's incredibly rare that you hear of a licensed gun owner using his or her weapon in anything but self-defense. The cops in Michigan, well, clearly, that's another story. All right, folks, that is it for this video. I have to go back to playing entertaining host, so please do all of the algorithm things, like, share, and subscribe. If you are new here, drop a comment down below. And of course, thanks for tuning in, and happy shooting.